The new Pokemon Keldeo is now available in the game due to like a research which you have to pay for, so let's see if it's worth paying for this research here in the Ultra League, having some test battles here against some people from Twitter. Of course they know that I'm going to use the team, but yeah. I grinded for this Pokemon now the early morning. It took me around like 1 hour at like -4 degrees outside, so please leave a like if you haven't done that yet. I would appreciate it. It helps out way more than you think. We're going to take a look today at the team here with also the new updated Gliscor. Shadow Gliscor is most likely one of the coolest Pokemon for the upcoming Ultra League season there, as this Pokemon now generates energy way faster. You have access to Night Slash, which can boost your attack. We have access to Earthquake, which can nuke your opponents. And definitely I have to say Gliscor was the best Pokemon from this team. Definitely Keldeo is the worst Pokemon from this team, and we can take a look a little bit more at Keldeo later on. But here we had already a horrible lead with a Lapras, but we were able to go into our war rain, and we were able to flip switch there, which is amazing because now we will be able to align our Keldeo against the Lapras, which we actually have a very decent matchup against, and the Gliscor against the Dragonite, where I think they didn't really realize that we get to the next move one turn before. Back in the day, basically, it was always 5 turns for one Night Slash. Now it's 5 and then 4 turns. We will be able to hit the Sacred Sword here, and we will be able to take out this Lapras. First game, good game. And next opponent, we will see here the Gliscor against the Pidgeot. That's not the ideal lead for me. And this is a team that I recognize a little bit. I made a video already for like Ultra League back in like last season, basically for the top team video for that. And there was one with also the Pidgeot in the lead. And I'm going to let this move go through. Could have been, of course, the non-bait, but I kind of didn't really want to risk it and use my shield up there. And seeing now this Cobalion on the back kind of tells me that's most likely going to be the Venusian in the back. I think also other people used that team as well, but like I had like the video back in the day for the Ultra League top teams. This was actually I think the first team that I showcased, because that did make so much sense to use this team here. You will be able to go for one more Sacred Sword, going to knock out the opponent here. They're going to go back into the Pidgeot. I sadly couldn't swap out there. And what I expect here in the back going to be the Venusian. I have some extra energy here, and so it's going to be definitely still a close one. We will be able to go ahead and shield up the Leaf Blade here, which is decent for us. Leaf Blade does like I think 5 more damage than Sacred Sword comparable there. We will be able to go for the Icicle Spear, and we will be able to go for another one here as well. This will be able to get the final shield. Can we still reach another one in time? Do we survive one move here? They're going to go for the Leaf Blade. We still survive it. Can we go for the Icicle Spear? We cannot, and we're gonna go down here, which is fine. Next opponent, we will see the Charizard in the lead. Charizard is also one of the buffed Pokemon for this season. We will be able to go into our war rain against the Kingdra. Kingdra is hit or miss. Like, if you get the debuff, Kingdra is amazing. If you don't get the debuff, Kingdra is kind of crappy. Let's see if my opponent goes for the bait even. They go for the bait, and they're gonna get the debuff. It's always like the Kingdra lottery here. It's always kind of annoying, but what can you do? This is why the Pokemon even exist, I guess. Yeah, it's fine. We will see that they're gonna go back into the Charizard, which is not really ideal for me. I will be able to take those charge moves though on my Keldeo from the Charizard, because Blast Burn is resisted. But of course, Wing Attack Charizard now is one of the best Pokemon in the game as well. I definitely recommend you to try Wing Attack Charizard out for this meta as well, but we're going to get kind of hardballed here as well with the Swampert in the back. We can go ahead and go for a Night Slash, going to get them lower, but they can go for one Hydro Cannon in time here. There's not a lot that we can do about this. We will be able to go into our war right now. I thought I might still be able to survive one Hydro Cannon and get the final shield of them. Let's see if this is true. It is not true, and we will go down here. Both were shadow versions, so there was not a lot that I can do here. Sacred Sword still comes through from the Keldeo, and we will see here that this one will go down as well to one Earthquake. Keldeo itself, by the way, if you want to complete the research, like it took me like an hour, but it's actually all pretty easy tasks. It's just like a lot of tasks. You get it in the 5th page of the research, which has, I think, in total 7 pages. A lot of catching Pokemon, a lot of actually playing Go Battle League, which is interesting. You have to play 5 matches in the Go Battle League in order to get through the 4th page, I think, which is something where people complained about online, which is funny. Otherwise, like, all pretty easy tasks, and you should be able to pretty easily do them if you want to get this ticket. I wouldn't really recommend it to you. if you're not someone who like is a content creator like me, or like someone who really wants the Pokemon, or who's someone who doesn't really care about 10 euro getting into the game there, because like it's not worth it. Like it's definitely not worth it. But what is worth it is building a Gliscor for the Ultra League, please, because you see already we boost like crazy. We will be able to even take the Seed Bomb, and we will basically sweep the opponent on our own, getting the final shield there as well from them. They can go for another move. I'm going to let this move go through and just going to see what they have in the bag for my Keldeo here. Keldeo will be able to still take one move here from them as well. Going to take this one, as we will see the Registeel in the back, and you will be able to go for some Sacred Swords here, which will do enough damage to knock them out in 3 hits. But yeah, in general, I think the items that you get from the research are not worth it either. So it's not really something that I would recommend you to do. You just get like the exclusive Keldeo, and you get like an exclusive shirt, I think. Yeah, it's I don't know. I'm actually a fan of those paid events if they're made well, but usually, sadly, they're not made well. So, for example, like we had even a worse event with the Mr. Mime thingy there, I think, Mr. Mime research, the Galarian version of it, and that cost like 12 euro, which I also did, by the way, because I was also already doing content at this point of time. For me, it's worth it to do it, so I have more content to showcase, but for others, honestly, I wouldn't recommend you spending money into the game anyway if you don't have extra money for it. For me, I'm spending money into the game because I'm a content creator, and before I was a content creator, I actually was basically free to play. I paid for like those smaller events sometimes, but I never paid for coins to buy like incubator or raid passes or whatever. I only played free to play, and I didn't really miss anything either. So yeah, I wouldn't really recommend you to pay for the game in general if you cannot really afford it, or if you don't really want to spend money for it. There's like always this fear of missing out, but just paying 8 euro for a digital Keldeo is not really worth it for me, and the items that you get are also not really that worth it. We will see another booster coming up. What is worth it still is Gliscor, as you can see here. Gliscor will be able to go for another Night Slash here, getting the final shield by the opponent. Of course, we're going to shield up here. Having the boost already, we will be able to go for another Night Slash, knocking out this Cresselia pretty easily here. This Night Slash going to knock them out with a boost, and we get another boost here. It's just, I don't know, like Gliscor is a cheat code. It's so good. I'm going to make definitely another team with Gliscor later on when the Ultra League drops. Most likely actually a pretty similar team to this one, most likely just Lapras in the back or something like this. But Gliscor itself is such a good cheat code, like this Pokemon is so strong. We see the next opponent here going to have Jellicent in the lead. We are going to overform a little bit. I'm not really too worried about the Bubble Beam now. Of course, we're going to do less damage, but still, it is fine for me. I will be able to go for one Night Slash here. I can go for another fast move and go for another Night Slash now. This is going to get them pretty low already, and I don't really want to face them with my Keldeo on the back. We will be able to go ahead and go into our Walrein now. This Walrein will be able to take any kind of move from them. They're going to have the Shadow Ball here, which is fine for us, and we can go ahead and go for an Earthquake, and this Earthquake should be able to knock them out already, which is a very decent start for me. And we will be able to see a Tentacruel coming in. We should still get to the Earthquake here, so we're going to get the final shield by the opponent, but Tentacruel itself is kinda awkward to deal with right now. I will not get to another move anyway, so like going straight for the Earthquake was the way to go. We're gonna go to the Keldeo just to soak some energy, because I have so much energy already stored on this. I will be able to shield up the next move here, because a Scald after the debuff here would do a ton of damage, but they go for another Acid Spray here. And sadly, we get Hard Ward here at the end. With the Walrein against our Gliscor, we're still going to do some nice damage. We're going to put them into range here for one Sacred Sword. But sadly, now we have Tentacruel against Keldeo, where I have literally zero move that hits this Pokemon. So my fast move was resisted, by both charge moves are resisted. I cannot even talk anymore. And I actually think I could have got to the Hydro Pump in time there, but I still went for 2 Sacred Swords. I think the difference is like, I think 10 damage, which you wouldn't have knocked them out anyway, so I think it's fine here. So, good game there. We can go into the next one now. Let's see what the opponent has here. We see a Talonflame in the lead. What we're going to do here is we're going to swap immediately into a Walrein, and we see a Cresselia coming out, which is fine for us, so we don't have to deal with it with the Keldeo. Icicle Spears are coming through here right now, which does some nice damage. We can just go for the mirror here. I'm just not going to shield. I'm just going to go straight for the Icicle Spears, and I should do some pretty decent damage against them here as well. as we see another Icicle Spear coming through here, and this should be actually a CMP tie with them, which is very nice, as we will be able to now go ahead and farm them all the way down with our Gliscor. They should still be able to get to another charge move, I think, but I rather take the energy here. I don't really need to shield either. Cresselia is one of the bulkiest Pokemon, so it doesn't do as much damage. It still did a ton of damage because we were Shadow, but now we have the Talonflame against us. We're going to go ahead and go always for 2 moves and then throw, because this allows us to basically get the most amount of energy here. This is like the best way to play against opponents' Talonflame. I will get an extra fast move through here because they throw the charge move immediately, which is fine for us. We can go for another Night Slash here. And what we can do now is we can go for 2 more fast moves and then swap out into our Keldeo, and we will be able to catch the incoming flame charge, which is very nice. We would be able to farm down, but sadly we get completely hardwalled again. There is a Trevenant here. What I should do here actually would be to go for the Sacred Sword instead of the Hydro Pump, trying to bait them, because I think Hydro Pump actually would knock them out, because our fast move does so much damage, and like Hydro Pump is still a stab, a super strong move from Keldeo, which is very attack rated, but sadly we will not be able to win this game here. I think if I baited I would have been fine, but sadly I didn't bait, which is my own problem there, I guess. Next opponent, we will see Pink Swampert here, having a Swampert which isn't pink. What a clickbait there, this is not okay for me. I'm going to try to swap onto the charge move, didn't work out. They're going to go into the Cobalion. Fine for us so far. We will be able to let this move go through, going to be the Sacred Sword of course, and we will be able to go for an Icicle Spear here. This Icicle Spear will be a bait here for the Earthquake, which they definitely have to shield, and we can go for another Earthquake in time as well, maybe getting 2 shields from the opponent, and they can farm us down. And I kind of make a stupid mistake here. I actually shield this move up. Like, they have the move Stone Edge, which still would do around half of my health. But at the end of the day, like, what I'm mostly going to have to shield up anyway in this matchup, going to be the Swampert. So there is no real reason for me to shield this. As soon as I shield there, I was like, why did I do this again? Doesn't really make too much sense, but we will see the Swampert coming back in here. They're going to throw the Hydro Cannon, and we see the Virizion coming in now. This is fine for me. I can go ahead and go for one Sacred Sword. I will get them low, and I want to let them KO me here because I need more energy. I need more energy on my Gliscor. I need to hit an Earthquake against the Swampert. I will take this move here, of course, because I need the shield for the Hydro Cannon. It's going to be a Sacred Sword for whatever reason. Like the other move, Leaf Blade, would be a little bit stronger and not resisted, but we can still get to the Earthquake in time. And Gliscor is, like, it's such a good Pokemon, honestly. Like, you're going to encounter Gliscor a ton of times all in the Ultra League. I definitely see that coming. We have a very decent-ish lead here with the Scrafty. They're going to swap out into the Swampert, and I actually thought I would be swapping here after 2 turns. So what I should be able to do here is take, should be able to go for a shield here for the Earthquake, and I don't think they're going to reach another Earthquake in time before I get to my move. Turns out I'm wrong, this is an Earthquake, but I cannot really take 2 shields here for this Pokemon that's going to get farmed out by the Scrafty anyway. This will knock them out now at least, but we are 1 shield down, but we can realign. It looks okay so far. We can go ahead and go into our Gliscor here, which has of course access to the Earthquake. Earthquake is fine, but also Night Slash doesn't really do damage against them, so I kind of have to play around here. I have to kind of bait them here. Let's see if they're going to fall for the bait. They are not, and now I'm going to have to swap into my Keldeo, and we get hardwalled by the Trevenant, and actually ballsy no shield there from the opponent, because if they didn't do this, I would have easily been able to win this game, because Trevenant, of course, is kind of awkward to, for them against my Gliscor, because I have Night Slash. So if I just went for Earthquake there, I think I would have been fine. But because they called the bait there, they're going to be able to win this game here. Very good call there from the opponent, so yeah. Keldeo, in general, if you don't want to spend money on the game and you kind of feel like, do I really want this? It's not worth it for Go Battle League, it's just like a collection thingy. You shouldn't really do it. It most likely comes for free someday anyway. But yeah, that's going to be it for the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I see you in the next one. Bye!